If you're a cat person, keep scrolling. If you're a dog person, stick around, because here are the top 5 wild dogs that you've never heard of.
And number 5 is the bush dog of South America. It really should be called the killer chili dog because of its body shape and what it hunts. Even though they only weigh 5 to 8 kilos, in a pack, they can take down animals up to the weight of a 250 kilo tapir. That's heavier than 2 of me. And number 4 is the Ethiopian wolf. Yes, there are wolves in Africa, and this is one of the rarest, with fewer than 500 of these found exclusively in the high elevation grassland areas of Ethiopia. This makes them one of the world's rarest canids and Africa's most endangered carnivore. And number 3 is the dhole. Not the D-hole, the dhole. It's also known as the Asiatic wild dog, and they travel in packs of up to 40 animals. They can chase tigers and leopards away from their kills, and in the original Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling, they actually featured as antagonists. And number 2 is the side-striped jackal. Very apropos because of the black and white stripes on their sides. They call sub-Saharan Africa their home, and they're less carnivorous than other jackal species. Up to 30% of their diet is fruit, depending on the season. And number 1, we have the short-eared dog, similar in appearance to the bush dog I mentioned earlier. These guys call the Amazon rainforest their home, and they are exceptionally rare. Their toes are partially webbed, which means they're good swimmers, and the females are a third larger than the males, which is unusual for canids. Dogs are fascinating, but I still can't wrap my head around how we got this from a wolf.
If you're a cat person, keep watching, because here are the top 5 wild cats that you've never heard of.
At number 5, we have the margay, also nicknamed the monkey cat because it's the most arboreal wild cat, spending most of its time up in trees, living like a monkey, hunting monkeys, and one has even been observed doing impressions of a monkey to catch a monkey. At number 4, we have the jaguarundi, a strange name for a strange-looking cat. Because of the shape of its body, it actually resembles an otter more than a cat. Their coats come in 2 colors, red and gray, and in some Spanish-speaking countries, it's referred to as gato colorado. At number 3, we have the kolokolo. Or if you're from Nigeria, the kolokolo. This cat isn't actually found in Nigeria, but in the pampas grasslands of Brazil, Chile, and Argentina, where it's also known as the pampas cat. They're also a furry mystery in that not a lot is known about their lifestyle. At number 2, we have the cod. This cutie is the smallest cat in the Americas, weighing in at almost 3 kilos, and a tiny cat like this hunts tiny prey, anything from moths to small deer. Finally, at number 1, we have the flat-headed cat. Not only does it have a distinctive flattened forehead, but the shape of its head is lengthened and more cylindrical than that of a domestic cat. These cats are not common in captivity, they're endangered in the wild, and like a kolokolo I mentioned earlier, they are a furry mystery. These guys are cool too, but they are massively overrated.
If you're into cars, keep scrolling. If you're into foxes, stick around. Here are the top 5 foxes you've never heard of.
At number 5 is the pale fox. This isn't just a brand of Prosecco for British people. So called because of its pale sandy coat, it's one of the least studied of all wild canids because its neighborhoods are the remote deserts of Sudan and Senegal. At number 4 is Ruppel's fox. Named after the German naturalist that discovered it, they look like a red fox that went on the skinny bitch diet. Found in North Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, they differ from red foxes in that they have larger ears, lighter coats, and they mark the territories with dung but not with urine as red foxes do. And number 3 is the swift fox, and it's as speedy as its name suggests. Even though it's smaller than a house cat, it can reach speeds of up to 60 kilometers an hour. That's faster than Usain Bolt. And number 2 is the Tibetan fox. They have extreme features and extreme habits. They've been known to occasionally team up with brown bears to hunt small animals, and this fox also understandably became a meme because of those indifferent looking eyes and that big old blocky head. And at number 1, we have the hoary fox. No, not the horny fox, the hoary fox. Hoary refers to the grayish-white color of its fur, and it's also the only fox on this list that is not a true fox. They're from a genus of South American foxes that are actually more closely related to wolves and jackals. So yeah, that's why they have the name they have, you perverts! Actually, just thinking about it, hoary fox doesn't sound that much better.
Gentlemen, here's 5 burbs with better beards than yours.
The beard of the white bearded mannequin is small yet striking for a bird its size. When they puff out those neck feathers during breeding season, they become a white whiskered wonder. It also has serious riz on the dance floor with aerial acrobatics and wings that sound like a twig snapping. When there's a lady involved, these birds go to town, beard and all. The bearded bellbird is a freak. For starters, those aren't even feathers, they're fleshy wattles like chickens have, only in dreadlock formation. It's unconventional, but then very little about this bird is because their alarm call sounds like an anvil being hit by a mallet. It's eccentric, it's out there, it's not for everybody, but if you can pull off this look, more power to you.
The beard of the bearded barbet is spicy and spiky and other things that rhyme with icy. Those bristles at the base of its bill, juxtaposed by colors of red, yellow, and black plumage, make for a colorful feast for the eyes. It's a chin cactus accompanied by fruit and flowers. The bearded vulture is metal! This is a golden goth pigeon. It has a quiff of black bristles complemented by its badger-striped face and golden head. This bearded badass also has a diet of around 70% bones, which they drop from heights of over 400 feet. They also do the same thing with live animals like tortoises. If Jafar from Aladdin was reincarnated as a bird, I suspect it would be this one. There isn't a bird or human that can step to the umbrella bird in the chin curtain department. It has a duvet on its face, for God's sakes! Like the bellbird I mentioned earlier, it has a wattle covered in feathers, but unlike the bellbird, it's inflatable! How many of you can say that about your beards? None! That's how many! Take notes!